recording, and I'll share my screen with you, Joseph, now. Right, so this is part of the writing exam. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm just going to move that box over there. Right, so this is part of the writing exam. It's actually the very first question on your writing exam at GCSE. Okay, so it's the first question of the writing exam. So essentially, it's designed at being the easiest question for you to sort of do, for you to get on with. So it's quite a simple one. But I mark for the exam board, the amount of students that try and make it too complicated and lose marks because they try and be too complicated, rather than just going, right, I just need to be really simple here, get my 8 marks and move on to the next question, which would be the 40-worder, which you had to go at this week. Okay, so in the writing exam, there are 4 questions. This is the first one, and it's worth 8 marks. So it's actually worth quite a lot of marks. When you think about the whole writing exams out of 50, well, this is worth 8 marks. It's almost a fifth of the exam, which is quite a lot of marks for essentially a really simple activity. So you will get shown, there'll be a black and white picture for the first question. It will be a black and white picture, could be anything. I've picked this one because it kind of links into a little bit about what we're doing at the moment, which is holidays, but it could be about any of the topics. It could be, well, you'll see from the next picture about what it could be about. Okay, and all you have to do, there'll be this question here that says, Qu'est-ce qu'il y a sur la photo? Écrivez 4 phrases en français. So basically, what is there in the photo? Write 4 sentences in French. And that's all you have to do. 4 separate sentences. So there is no extra marks here for being fancy, for like showing that you can do different things. You literally just have to write 4 sentences that say what there is in the photo. So I would always start, if you can, I'm just going to type here, and you can actually borrow this from the question, so there's no excuses here for getting it wrong. So you can start with sur la photo, like that. Oh, I can't spell today. Sur la photo. Okay, so that's like in the photo. Actually, in French, they say on the photo, which is how they say it in French. So on the photo. Then you can take the there is from the question, not the que, sorry, but the il y a part. So sur la photo, il y a is your sentence starter. In the photo, there is. And then we've just got to make sure we know enough nouns, enough things that we can say, for example. So we can say sur la photo, il y a. Well, what I can see is a man. So if I know the word for man, un homme, full stop, that'll do. That, sentence 1, fine. That would get me 2 marks. Okay, that's the max of marks for that. Is there a man in the photo? Yes. Have I written it clearly in French? Yes. Done. I don't have to do anything else for that 1 sentence. Okay, and then literally I can use the same, if I can use the same sentence starter. Sur la photo, il y a. Okay, now I've got to think, right, il y a, well, there, and that's a man, that's like a child. Okay, so I could say, sur la photo, il y a un enfant, full stop. In the photo, there is a child. That's him. Okay, another 2 marks. Is it accurate? Yes. Is it what something that's in the photo? Yes. Next sentence, sur la photo, il y a. We can start again with that. We don't have to vary it with this. It's the first question of the writing exam, so we just have to be simple. And there's a woman here. So let's go with sur la photo, il y a une femme. In the photo, there's a woman. Okay, nice. Is it accurate? Yes. Is there a woman in the photo? Yes. So I've got the 3 people. Now I've got to think of something else. So I've got to do 4 sentences. So I might be thinking, well, I know the word for tent. That's good. So I can go sur la photo, il y a une tente. And that is it. That would be, for this photo card, that would be 8 marks. And that's all you have to do. People make lots of mistakes with this because they try and be too complex. So they'll try and say things that are really difficult. They'll try and say things like, in the photo, there are 3 people who are camping. It's a waste of time doing that. Even if you can do it, it's a waste of time. You're still only going to get 2 marks. So you might as well just write, sur la photo, il y a un homme. In the photo, there's a man. Get your 2 marks that way and move on to the more complex questions. Give yourself more time for the more complex questions. The other mistake I often see when I'm marking for the exam board is students often add lots into the same sentence. They might say, sur la photo, il y a un homme, et une femme, et un enfant. Well, all you've done there is you've basically given me 3 pieces. You've actually given me 3 answers in the first one, which is a waste. You're still only going to get 2 marks for that. You might as well just use it in all the other answers, if you see what I'm saying, to allow you to have enough things to say to get your 8 marks. The other thing that I see students sometimes run out of these, what I call nouns, like man, child, woman, tent, your family, famille. Okay, so these are key ones because there's often people in the photo. There's often men, there's women, there's children. We're going to have a little look at some other nouns, other things that might appear in the photo. The other things, you notice what I've written over here. If you cannot think of enough of those things, like man, woman, child, tent, bike, if there was a bike in the photo, whatever it might be, if you can't think of enough of those to go sur la photo il y a, there are other options that you can look at. So you can look at clothes. Okay, so if you're really stuck, imagine we didn't know the word for tent. Okay, so we've got that. We've only managed to do those three, and we're like, oh no, I don't know any other things. I can't say in the photo. I don't know how to say grass. I don't know how to say hill. I don't know how to say any of those. So I'm a bit stuck. But what I do know how to say is maybe he is wearing. Okay, or she is wearing. So I could go say elle porte. Notice here, shows like I said, it's got elle porte there. Yeah, she is wearing. So I then can say elle porte. I don't know. I know the word for t-shirt and t-shirt because that's a nice easy one. Elle porte and t-shirt. Okay, so that's one option. Okay, if I didn't know that, I'm like, oh no, I don't know how to say that. What about the weather? The weather's always a good one because often if they're outside, there'll be a weather type going on. So to me, it looks fairly sunny. Okay, and I remember from my lessons in French that every lesson starter, we always do the weather. So I could say, il fait du soleil. Yeah, or il y a du soleil. That's a nice, easy one to do. The weather's always good. So I've written some options here for the weather. Okay, and then the last one is quite a nice one to use. Is like how they're feeling or how they are. So say if it was a picture of people playing sport, you could say they are sporty. Ils sont sportifs. Okay, these you can't really say that for because they don't look that sporty, but we could say they're happy because they look quite happy. They look quite smiley. So we could go with ils sont contents. They are happy. Maybe. Okay, so if we're really stuck and we can't think of enough nouns to go with in the photo there is, these are some other options here that are really, really useful. Okay, as a start to next week's lesson, first lesson, students are going to copy that and this into their blue books. So I think probably best, Joseph, you can do that as a start lesson unless you really want to do it now. We can do it now if you want to. It might be easier when you've got a bit more time to do it at the start of the lesson. It's mainly the notes and the writing exam and then the notes here about how best to answer it. Okay, so essentially it's a really, really, really simple activity. That's the main thing I want you to take from it. It's really, really simple. Don't overcomplicate it. If you can, stick to in the photo there is, and then just try and say different things that are in the photo. And that's a case essentially of learning quite a few different nouns, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and so basically if we have those, we've got an if I just create a little list here, which will also be useful for everyone. I'm just going to create just down here a list. Un homme, a man. Une femme is a woman. Then we've got un enfant is a child, or like an infant, I suppose. Yeah, child's fine. The other ones that are really good, une famille, a family. Oh, hold up, a family. Une fille, a girl. Un garçon, a boy. Most of the pictures that I've seen so far from the exams have all had people in them. And then normally you can get away if you know those, you can normally do 2 or 3 sentences just by using those. There's a man, there's a woman, there's a child. Brilliant, that's 3 sentences done already. And then there's often like an object, and so that's some of your topic vocab: a tent, a bike, what other things is a car is in one of them, a bus, those sort of things. Those sort of nouns that are linked to certain topics. But again, if you're really stuck with those, you can always go down that route of the weather. Lots of the pictures are taken in outside situations. Or how you think the people are feeling, which is a good option if you're a bit stuck on in the photo there is. So we've got un homme, une femme, un enfant, une famille, une fille, un garçon. Oh, sorry, not une garçon, un garçon. What else is often in the photo? Well, I suppose this is quite good. Le soleil, the sun. In the photo there is the sun. Okay, if it's sunny outside. You've got les nuages, which is clouds. So it's quite good as well to talk about what's in the photo. In the photo, there's clouds. Oh, hold on, there should be an S and then the nuage, a bit like that. Oh, look, it's not un homme, it's un homme. Sorry, I think this is also correct in a bit. So it's un homme, une femme, un enfant, une famille, une fille, un garçon, le soleil, les nuages. So you can say, c'est la photo, il y a le soleil. In the photo, there is the sun, which kind of there is in this photo. Or, c'est la photo, il y a les nuages. Des nuages, but les nuages would be fine. There are clouds. So you've got lots of options there. And essentially, if you learn those, I reckon if you learn those, you probably, with most of the photos, be able to get 4 sentences out of that. And basically, the rest of the sentence starter is there. And you can take that from the question, because this question's always written there for you in the exam. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a sur la photo? So you can take the sur la photo, il y a, basically just take that section of it, copy it exactly correctly, okay, for each of the things. And then if you've learned those, I reckon you're probably going to be pretty sorted with an answer that would be 8 marks, 2 marks for each of those, so 8 out of 8, which is a great start to your writing exam. Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording, and then, if I can, and then I'll take any questions from you